Okay, pay close attention, because I'm about to tell you the truth. Relationships are a game, and the sooner you learn the rules, the better you'll do. If you've ever felt lost, confused, or helpless when dealing with women, that changes today. You have two options: pick up the pieces and figure out what works, or stay lost and not moving. This is the real deal about her mind and how you can take control like no one else. If you want her to be crazy about you and start chasing you instead of you always running after her, then stop wasting time on useless advice and pay attention to what really matters. This type of psychological power has the potential to significantly alter the situation. People like to portray women as delicate, innocent creatures, but they're not. They use daily plans and moves to get what they want. If you think you're playing fair, think again. This is a battlefield, and it's crucial to prepare yourself with information that can drastically alter the rules. Now, you might be wondering if this is right, or even if you should learn it. Do not worry about right and wrong until you win. People who get ahead don't follow the rules. They make new ones. I'm not encouraging manipulation. It's about taking charge, never feeling helpless, and making decisions. This isn't for people who want to stay safe or be nice. It's for people who are sick of feeling ignored, of playing small, and of not having the confidence and control they deserve. If this resonates with you, prepare yourself, as I am about to unveil a novel perspective that many are too afraid to acknowledge. Part 1. Creating an emotional connection. Once you see it, you can't take it back. Indeed, this method bears a striking resemblance to an ancient practice that has endured over time. Stoicism. The Stoics thought that you should be able to control your feelings and keep your inner world stable no matter what was going on around you. That's exactly what I'm talking about, learning how to handle your emotions. Maintaining composure and making choices from a position of power is crucial. It's not about reacting to everything, but carefully and strategically choosing your moves. When you follow these rules, you're not just playing the game, you're mastering it. Are you with me? This is just the beginning. Before we proceed, if you're prepared to transform your approach to relationships by harnessing the power of Stoicism, please subscribe. Every video is a step toward getting control of your mind and making connections that are stronger and more important. Okay, let's dive. To make it easier for you to understand, let me break it down into a section that will evoke a specific emotion in you. If you want to change a woman's mind, disregard logic and disregard it. If you want to be in charge, you need to focus on emotions instead of facts, reason, or well-thought-out arguments. This is due to the fact that women process logic differently than men do, as their emotions drive them. Have you ever tried to explain yourself in an argument by laying out everything in a clear, logical way, only for her to still not get it? That's because it's not about what makes sense. It's about how she feels. Women tend to respond to emotions instead of reasoning. The worst part is that they've probably been using this against you without you even realizing it. To shift the power in their favor, they will act upset, play the guilt card, or pretend to feel hurt. Have you ever wondered why an argument escalated so quickly, or why you feel like the victim? That's emotional control at work. It's not your fault. It's simply the nature of the game. The positive news is that you can change the rules. All you have to do is make her feel something. Keep her guessing and watch how the dynamics change. Unpredictability, not logic, does. You gain control when you evoke emotions such as excitement, happiness, jealousy, or even a hint of fear in her. Emotions are addicting, and if you can make her feel those highs and lows, she'll start to associate them with you. That's how you maintain your presence in her mind. Here's a pro tip. Learn to make your emotions go up and down. Give her your full attention and make her feel special 1 minute, and then pull away and act detached the next. This is called push and pull. Dynamic keeps her on edge, always looking for your approval. She'll stay mentally attached because she won't know what's going to happen next. It's the unknown that keeps her invested, always wanting more and ready to see the difference. It's time to play smarter. Here's the truth. Most people are the same way. Part 2. Play on her fears. Women want to stay in charge in relationships by keeping you mentally tied up, but here's the deal. They don't want to say it out loud. If you can figure out how to mess with her feelings before she does, you can forget about trying to think your way through it. Emotions are the battleground, and if you learn to dominate there, you'll never lose. Now, let me weave in something deeper here. The Stoic mindset. The Stoics understood that our emotions can be our greatest strength or our biggest weakness. They taught us to stay in control of our inner world, no matter what happens outside of us. So while women might be playing the emotional game, you're not going to lose yourself in the chaos. You're going to stay calm, composed and strategic, just like a Stoic would imagine it, just like the Stoics. You don't let the emotional storms around you throw you off. Of course, you recognize emotions for what they are, temporary waves, and choose how you respond. You're in control of your own feelings, which means you can better influence the situation without getting caught up in it. You learn to respond, not react. That's what gives you the power. And when you combine that level of control with the ability to create emotional spikes, now you're playing a whole different game, one where you're always a step ahead. Now, let's go even deeper. If you want to truly stay in control, you need to understand and use her fears. Even though it may seem harsh, fear is one of the most potent motivators. And guess what? Women have fears too. Fears such as loneliness, rejection, and inadequacy are not arbitrary. Knowing how to utilize these fears gives you the advantage. Most people avoid discussing this because it's too serious or dark, but we won't. You can either take charge of the situation or let it control you. What women are really afraid of goes deeper than they let on. Once you know what she's scared of, you can use that information to keep her emotionally and mentally hooked. Think about Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. Why does Anastasia keep falling in love with him so much? Sure, he's rich and hot, but that's not the whole story. He manipulates her apprehension about solitude by persistently drawing her in, making her feel unique, and then withdrawing, leaving her uncertain about her position. This constant doubt that she's decent enough and that she might lose him keeps her emotionally attached. It's not just love or attraction that keeps her clinging to him, it's the emotional roller coaster he creates that makes her cling to him even more. If you want to stay in control, make her feel like losing you would be the worst thing that could happen. When she fears losing you, you gain control over the relationship, maintain her vigilance, and she will persistently pursue you. Part 3. The push-pull method. I'm not telling you to terrorize people. That's not the point. What I am saying is that you need to understand what makes her act the way she does, and fear is a big part of it. If you subtly exploit her fears, you'll control the relationship. Let's discuss a topic that rarely receives attention. The Stoic way of thinking recognized that our emotions, particularly fear, can either serve as a tool for personal growth or as a trap. They knew that even though fear is a natural reaction, we don't have to let it control us. Instead, we can face it with wisdom and reason. Mastering our own emotions before we try to influence others in relationships gives you an edge because you stay centered, clear, and strategic, knowing that the emotional triggers you use are tools, not weaknesses. By following the Stoic principle of apatheia, or freedom from emotional disturbance, you can act without fear or desperation and with control. This gives you a sense of power and security that others admire. Therefore, while fear can serve as a powerful motivator, it's how you handle it that truly matters. If you use it carefully and with calm control, you'll keep the power. Now let's talk about a method that will almost certainly keep her hooked: the push-pull technique. It's easy, but man, does it work. Here's how it works. You give her attention, make her feel special, and then you pull back. You suddenly go quiet or distant. That constant back and forth creates emotional tension. And let me tell you, emotional tension is like a drug. It's addictive. She won't even realize it, but she'll keep coming back for more, desperate for your attention. Here's the thing about women. They thrive on emotional ups and downs. Give her too much attention, and she gets bored. Give her too little, and she feels neglected. But when you master the art of balancing both, when you keep her guessing, you create a psychological loop that she can't break out of. She'll spend all her time wondering what you're thinking, what you're going to do next, and that emotional tension will keep her focused on you. The push-pull technique isn't just a game, it's a strategy. It builds that perfect mix of unpredictability and excitement that keeps her emotionally attached. And the best part is, while she's busy analyzing your every move, she'll stop thinking about her own needs and start focusing on you. That's the kind of control that keeps her coming back. Let me use a real-life example to explain. Everyone was fascinated by the relationship between Elena Gomez and Justin Bieber, which was like a roller coaster, always changing directions. Why did it last so long? The answer is simple: the push-pull dynamic. Justin would do everything he could to make Selena feel like the most important person in his life. He would express his love for Selena, take bold actions, and do everything he could. That was the push. Then, out of the blue, he'd pull away. He might date someone else or just leave her hanging, not sure where they stood. Part 4. Make her trust you more emotionally. Whiplash kept the relationship alive in the news, and more importantly, in Selena's mind. Selena has expressed that the constant question of "what if" made it difficult for her to move on. That's the power of push-pull. It makes you wonder. In a cycle of uncertainty, hope and doubt, Selena persistently attempted to understand the situation, yet she found herself trapped in a cycle that kept her emotionally connected to Justin, even after they should have ended their relationship. This isn't just drama, it's a masterclass in emotional entanglement. How can you use this in your own life? It's easier than you think. Start with the push. Make her feel special by complimenting her, taking her out, and showing her that you care about her. When she's experiencing immense joy, abruptly distance yourself, appear distant, delay responding to her texts, or appear preoccupied. This sudden change will throw her off, and she'll start looking for that feeling again, wondering why you pulled away. If she thinks she knows everything about you, she'll lose interest. So don't let her feel too safe. The push-pull technique works by creating a cycle of emotional highs and lows that keeps her hooked. Here's where the Stoic perspective clarifies everything. Pay attention. Stoics knew that feelings, especially ones like fear or uncertainty, can be useful tools, but only if you stay in charge of them. In relationships, when you understand the psychology of push-pull, you're not playing mind games on purpose, you're playing with awareness. The Stoic idea of apatheia, emotional freedom, gives you a stronger sense of power because it lets you stay calm and not let the mental chaos you're making affect you. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca spoke about mastering your own desires and emotions to maintain inner peace. You're not letting her unpredictability or emotional tension dictate your mood. Instead, you are using the situation to remain steady and wise while she remains caught in the emotional current. This is how the Stoic approach to relationships differs from impulsive behavior. It's not about being cold or detached, but about understanding and controlling your emotional response. responses to navigate the highs and lows effectively. So don't be the guy who's always available, always predictable. Be the one who keeps her guessing, always wondering what's next. That's how you keep her emotionally invested. Think of it like Selena and Justin. The world couldn't look away, and neither could they. You set the rhythm, and she'll follow your lead while you, like a Stoic, maintain composure and mastery over your emotions. YouTube shares this with more men who need it, and it keeps the content coming. It's quick, free, and it makes a real difference. Thanks. So let's get back to it and take it to the next level. Let's talk about how to slowly win her trust. Ladies, you've been missing the point. Women aren't looking for someone simple to win over. They want men who know how to challenge them just enough to keep them wanting more. I'm not talking about being mean or rude. I'm talking about making smart, subtle moves that make her question herself and keep her wanting your approval. Think about it. Guys are always trying to win over ladies, but what happens when you don't do that? When you're not constantly chasing her, she starts to doubt herself, and that's when you have the upper hand. It's not about being mean, it's about being smart and strategic. As an example, Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl isn't the nicest person in the world. He knows how to mess with Blair Waldorf's feelings, making her feel both wanted and uncertain of herself by giving her compliments and criticism at the same time. It also functions effectively in real life by keeping women vigilant. Part 5. The Power of Mystery Validation. When you subtly make her doubt herself, you get her to depend on you. She will begin to question what she can do to make you happy, which is when you start to take charge. Getting things in balance is the key. She's not shy, but she wants your praise. Here's how to give it to her. Once you say something kind and genuine that makes her feel good, immediately follow it up with a small, subtle criticism. For example, you could say, "She looks great, but maybe her outfit isn't the best choice for where you're going." This creates back-and-forth tension within the conversation. She feels good, but then she wonders if she did something wrong, and that doubt makes her come back for your approval. Another trick is to show interest, then pull away. Give her attention, make her feel special, and then act distant. She'll start to wonder what she did wrong, and she'll try to win your attention back. This keeps her emotionally invested. Let's look at things from a Stoic point of view. Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, were very good at keeping their feelings in check and not letting the outside world affect them. Changing someone's confidence is less about trickery and more about keeping your own inner balance. You perceive apathy as a sign of toughness. Freedom teaches that real strength comes from not letting your emotions change. Subtly pushing and pulling her allows you to control your emotional response to the situation, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally. You're not constantly seeking her attention or confirmation of your worth. The Stoic approach is about being grounded in your own self-sufficiency. When you give and then pull back, you're creating emotional dynamics, but you're not losing control over yourself. In fact, you're using wisdom to strategically engage her while maintaining your own emotional stability, which in turn draws her toward you, creating a situation where she's constantly seeking your validation while you remain unmoved and steady. This is where the true power lies, by mastering the balance between challenge and approval. You can subtly shift her confidence, making her emotionally dependent on your validation, all while you stay in control, grounded and emotionally steady, just like a Stoic would. So keep her on her toes, always wondering where she stands with you, but never let it throw you off balance. Your inner calm and self-control are your greatest strengths, and that's where the true power dynamic lies. Keep the rhythm steady, and she'll follow your lead. Let's talk about how surprise can work. Women like men who are mysterious and don't reveal all of their cards. Keeping her guessing about your thoughts, feelings, and next move creates a sense of intrigue. When she remains uncertain, she becomes captivated, and her insatiable curiosity drives her to return for more. The goal isn't to crush her spirit, but to make her value your opinion and seek your validation. When you make her second-guess herself, you position yourself as the one she turns to for reassurance, giving you control in the relationship. This may be unpleasant to hear, but it's true. Women see you as weak when you show emotion. Society tells us that we should be honest, share our feelings, and be open and vulnerable. But in reality, women don't respect men who wear their hearts on their sleeves. They respect men who keep their emotions in check, don't break down under pressure, and keep a sense of mystery. If you're too emotionally available, you become predictable and, well, boring. Women don't like guys who are always there, sharing and open. What they want is the task of trying to figure you out, the thrill of the unknown. If you want to see an example of a man who keeps his feelings in check, look at James Bond. Bond is mentally tough, which is why he is so appealing. Many women aspire to be the one to penetrate his tough exterior and uncover his vulnerable side, but if he were to reveal his vulnerability too much, his charm would diminish. Here's the truth. Women are emotional and need someone strong to lean on. If you're always talking about your feelings and being open, you become another emotional burden for her to carry. You need to be the rock who can handle her feelings while keeping your own in check. Though you shouldn't keep your feelings to yourself, be smart about how you talk about them. Don't give her everything, but just enough to confirm your authenticity. Keep her wondering, and the emotional tension will keep her interested when you finally tell her how you feel. Make sure it shows strength, not weakness. Tell stories about problems you've solved. Reflecting on your resilience in challenging situations demonstrates your strength and ability to manage any situation, including her emotions. That's why I find myself thinking about you constantly. Let us add some Stoic knowledge to this. The Stoics were excellent at keeping their emotions in check. For instance, Marcus Aurelius asserted that external events or other people's reactions should not disturb a person's inner peace. They believed in the power of apathy, a state in which a person remains strong and centered despite external chaos in relationships. This Stoic attitude is essential because it helps you control your feelings and keep a sense of mystery. You show the Stoic virtue of self-control. You're not letting your feelings control your actions or giving other people the power to change how you act. This creates a balance of strength. She may be looking for support, but you don't need it to keep your emotions in check. This method doesn't mean hiding all of your feelings. Instead, it means managing them well, showing just enough to let her know you're human, but not so much that you lose your air of mystery and strength. As the Stoics assert, you don't require emotional exposure to be strong. Your ability to maintain composure and groundedness, even in the face of negative emotions, is what will earn her respect and sustain her interest. Remember that the Stoic way isn't about avoiding emotions altogether. It's about mastering them. Keeping her guessing and pulling away at the right times doesn't make you cold. It makes you strong, composed, and in control, which is exactly what women find irresistible. Being manipulative or mean isn't the point. The point is to understand the dynamics and use them carefully. From a Stoic perspective, mastering your emotions and understanding the balance of power is crucial in relationships. Whether it's in relationships, work, or life in general, the Stoics taught us that control over our inner world is crucial. This involves not allowing others' emotions or expectations to sway us and maintaining a calm, grounded state. Presence. By keeping your emotions in check, you gain control over the situation, much like the Stoics did in their own lives, facing adversity with resilience and wisdom in relationships. This means creating the dynamic where you are not emotionally dependent, but rather emotionally resilient and centered. This is how you build true strength and power, not by manipulating, but by staying in control of yourself and your actions. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into the psychology of relationships. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these techniques, or are you planning to? Remember, knowledge is power. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and take control of your life and relationships, just like the Stoics did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.